For part 1 of the B2 First Writing Exam, you need to write an essay. And for part 1 of the C1 Advanced Writing Exam, you also need to write an essay. Do you know the differences between a C1 Advanced essay and a B2 First essay? I don't think you do. And that's a terrible thing. My name is Toby, this is Smash English, and here is everything you need to know about the important differences between a C1 Advanced and a B2 First essay. The B2 First Writing Exam is 1 hour and 20 minutes long, and this means that you have 40 minutes to write your essay. The C1 Advanced Writing Exam is 1 hour and 30 minutes long, and this means that you have 45 minutes to write your essay. Wow, 5 minutes extra time. That is brilliant. So, why do you need those extra 5 minutes? For part 1 of the B2 First Writing Exam, the essay, you should write between 140 and 190 words. For part 1 of the C1 Advanced Writing Exam, the essay, you should write between 220 and 260 words. That extra 5 minutes gives you enough time to write at least 30 more words. But what about the questions? Are there any differences between a B2 First essay question and a C1 Advanced essay question? Let's look at an example B2 First essay question.
In your English class, you have been talking about different ways to keep up to date with the news. Now your English teacher has asked you to write an essay. Write an essay using all the notes and give reasons for your point of view. What is the best way for people to stay up to date with the news? 1. Internet. 2. TV. 3. Your own idea. Write your essay.
Hopefully you have watched all of my videos about writing an essay for the B2 First Cambridge exam, even if you are not preparing for the B2 First Cambridge exam, because trust me, those videos are really entertaining. Yeah. But basically, to summarize in a really simplistic way, a B2 First essay should be 5 paragraphs long. You need an introduction, then you need an individual paragraph for each individual prompt. So here that would be paragraph 2, internet, paragraph 3, TV, paragraph 4, your own idea, for example, and paragraph 5, conclusion. There is a way to order your prompts, but let's not talk about that here. It's not relevant. I'm just giving you an example, okay? Yes. This means that you have 5 paragraphs to write and 140 to 190 words to write them with. And trust me, that is not a lot of words. In short, a B2 First essay should be something like 2 sentences for your introduction, 3 sentences for each prompt, and then 2 sentences for your conclusion. That's like 13 sentences. That's not a lot of sentences. And this is why B2 First essay writing, in my opinion, and with my advice, is really, really easy. Because anyone can think of 3 sentences to write about using the internet to look up news. That's really simple. You do not need a lot of specific vocabulary to do that, do you? No, you don't. But what about C1 Advanced? Well, here is a sample question about the same topic.
Your class has watched a panel discussion about what the best source of news is. You have made the notes below. Sources of news: TV, internet, newspapers. Some opinions expressed in the discussion. It takes years of experience to be a successful TV journalist. They know what they're doing. Anyone can post anything on the internet, so how can you trust it? Newspapers are out of date and always one day behind. Write an essay discussing 2 of the areas in your notes. You should explain what the best news source is, giving reasons in support of your answer. You may, if you wish, make use of the opinions expressed in the discussion, but you should use your own words as far as possible.
So, what are the key differences here? Well, the question itself is the same. Which is the best source of news? However, we can only talk about 2 prompts, not 3. And secondly, we cannot invent our own prompt. But wait a minute, maybe right now you are thinking, oh yes, Toby, this is great. I have no imagination. In the B2 First exam, I found it really difficult to think of my own prompt, and now I don't have to. Haha, yes, I win, you lose. And I guess in a way, that's correct, but there is a problem. Think about it. Instead of writing 190 words to talk about 3 prompts, you've got to write at least 220 words to talk about 2 prompts. This means you will need to demonstrate more specialized vocabulary related to each prompt. You will need to provide more detailed ideas, explanations, and examples. This is harder, not easier. You will also notice that you have 3 comments or opinions expressed by some panelists, and you don't have to use them when you write your essay, but you can if you want. They're just ideas. If you're in the exam thinking, oh my gosh, I have no ideas, well, don't worry, because here are 3 ideas, 1 idea related to each prompt, that you can use. But remember, you could only ever use 2 of them, because in the C1 Advanced exam, you should only reference 2 of the prompts, not 3 of them. Okay? Yes! Oh yeah, and if you do decide to use these ideas, then make sure you put them into your own words. Don't just copy what is written on the examination paper, because that's not going to give you any marks. That will give you 0 marks, because that's just copying. And what's the point in copying? There is none, trust me. But did you know that copying is not always bad? No, in fact, sometimes copying is great. And if you could copy anyone, you should copy Alvaro, or Zuzia, or Moon, or Teresa. Do you know why? Because they donated to the channel and made my heart feel a little bit warm and fuzzy, like I was being hugged by a giant kitten, and I love big kittens. Wow. But seriously, you guys are great, I really love you, and if you think that my channel is helping you with your English, then please do consider donating yourself. Thank you. Bye. So what about the structure for a C1 essay? Well, the essay is functionally exactly the same as the B2 First essay. I need to argue for something and against something else. This question is asking me to talk about what is the best source of news, and I can choose 2 prompts. So let's say I decide to talk about the internet and newspapers. Now, I believe that internet is a better source of news than newspapers. So in this essay, I need to compare and contrast internet and newspapers, and then come to the conclusion that the internet is better than newspapers for learning about the news. Of course, with reasons and explanations and examples. So, as I have said before, a B2 First essay should be introduction, prompt, 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 conclusion. A C1 Advanced essay should be different. Instead, I want you to do introduction, discuss prompt 1, discuss prompt 2, and then compare and contrast the prompts, and finally finish with your conclusion. So, to summarize, what are the differences between a B2 First essay and a C1 Advanced essay? Well, number 1, you have 5 minutes longer to write it. Number 2, instead of writing 140 to 190 words, you need to write between 220 and 260 words. Number 3, you need to talk about 2 prompts and not 3. Number 4, you have some sample ideas from a panel. And number 5, you should change the essay structure from the basic structure I gave you for your B2 First essay. And this should allow you to talk in greater detail about 2 prompts, whilst at the same time comparing and contrasting them. But don't worry, because I will tell you exactly how to do that in another video. Yes, yes, great. And with that, we are finished. Now you know everything you need to know about the differences between a B2 First and a C1 Advanced essay. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below. My name is Toby, and this was Smash English.